once the game is purchased, it belongs to the user. Bro, this is the most romantic thing that anyone has told me since Gabe Newell said that I can refund a hentai game after 1.9 hours of playing. And it strikes really deep, doesn't it? Because we are in a culture that believes the exact opposite. Not only now when you go and you buy a physical disc, like you actually go into a mortar and brick store and buy a disc, you open the disc and then you realize that you need to create a Ubisoft account. In other words, you still don't own the game. They can still toad police you. They can still ban your account. And apparently, like, that's not enough. Like, you have companies like Capcom claiming that they don't want you to make mods. Like, George Washington didn't fight so that it creates a country where corporations don't allow you to have jiggle physics. And it turns out that apparently a lot of people are agreeing with this. It's like, well, yes, of course, corporations have to protect their brand. And I'm wondering, like, is the next step that if you install the game on your computer, does the corporation own your computer? Because, like, what if you have something that's not brand safe next to their video game on your desktop? Apparently that's where we're going, and a lot of people are cheering for it. Probably tied to why Microsoft can try and push Windows 11 on us. Because this is what people want, right? People want the morality of the marketplace. Well, you're going to get it. Anyway, the director rejects the idea of regulating adult mods. Not only that, it's like, I guess like the only way they can do it, because a lot of people go, well, how are they going to do it? Well, they can. They cut a deal with Nexus Mods or similar websites, and they force the moderators there to become corrupt, to stop caring about the community, to stop caring about the actual website. And in exchange, they start caring about how to please these corporations so they can get more freebies. And then they ban the mods. That's how they can do it. And obviously, it's not going to be 100% success rating. But they want like a significant amount of success where they can show that the company, they get to stuff their morality down your throat. It's not even about the titty. It's the very principle of it, right? Like, why is a for-profit corporation get to decide what their customers are and aren't allowed to do with the product after buying it? No one would accept the company that makes Lamborghinis to then somehow restrict access to your car if you put a poster on it. Or if you have like a bumper sticker that they don't like. But apparently, like, this is the world that our moral police, our caras, are pushing us towards. By saying that, yes, not safe for work is bad, so like a corporation that wants to police its brand image is actually a good thing. And they justify that, right? Like, they want corporations to have more authority, and they're more than willing to get it. But unfortunately for them, they also are getting competition now. Like video games from Asia. This is why I support Nikkei and why I support Stellar Blade. It's not because of the asset, it's the morality of it. Like, I think these corporations are far more moral than anything the West has shut out. Because at least I know that they look at the customer as an adult and they treat them with respect. Meanwhile, Western companies are treating the customer like a child. You're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. Give us all your data, give us all your information. I don't like this shit. I don't think this is morality. So as they see, like, while some of the world's most puritanical individuals have found themselves clutching their pearls over the adult mod potential of Stellar Blade, game director has no interest in trying to police fans' creative interests. As not only does he believe it to be a fool's errand, but he is also a strong proponent of customer ownership. He also serves as the CEO of Stellar Blade developer ShiftUp, and he offered his thoughts on the concept of modding, especially as it pertains to Eve, the company, during the recent interview. Amidst the larger conversation regarding the ins and outs of the game's recently released PC, as machine translated by ChatGPT, the director was at one point pressed by his host. The protagonist of Eve is a very appealing sales point in and of herself. Because of that, she's also been the subject of preconceived notions, especially overseas. One common issue with the character-centric games is data modification, especially the use of mods. What is your policy regarding this? He said, we don't have a policy on this. In fact, data modification can range from simply increasing the game speed to completely altering the gameplay itself. As long as it's not being abused, I believe that mods can play a positive role by expanding the scope and experience of the game. So overall, I view them favorably. That said, there are cases where things approach hacking or interference with the proper functioning of the game, and in this case, we ask users to be mindful of those changes. To be fair, I don't really think that a single-player game can have any mods that would be a problem. For a multiplayer game, though, like Diablo, right, like a mod that allows you to get infinite gold, or you can cheat in some way that affects the multiplayer experience, yeah, sure, the company should crack on it. But only for the multiplayer. Like, if a person wants to play single-player, where they attune their characters to be level 99 in the tutorial, why not? He said, since we don't provide any official modding tool, it's not like we'll see conversions of the game. See, you say that, but when you don't provide modding tools, you just make the modders go harder. Like, you have no idea what a person with a Blender tool and no morality can accomplish in a game like Stellar Blade. I'm hopeful we'll start seeing mods that solidly change the way the game is enjoyed. He said, of course, new outfits or monsters, visuals would be great, but I'm excited to see mods that extend the players in a different way. Basically, like, he's a CEO that tries to move away from the sex aspect and is saying, like, I don't fucking care, you know? Like, the mod community is quite diverse. If people want the character to be naked, fine. If people want to create different monsters, fine. It's their game now. Like, they already paid us for the game. Now we're happy that they're purchasing. And this is the type of mentality that's needed more, not less, in the Western market. He then gets pressed out of his stance on adult-rated skins. See, they call us gooder and they say we're obsessed with sex. But, like, the game journalists, the moral people of America, this is the only thing they can talk about. Like, Stellar Blade is a video game that has amazing music, amazing gameplay, came out with no bugs. The story is okay. But all they talk about is the fact that she looks like a woman and she doesn't look like a Democrat that took meth. And it's like, okay, but when you call me a gooner and you say that I'm obsessed with sexuality when this is the only thing you're talking about, I don't feel shamed. It's kind of like a morbidly fat man calling a thin person fat, you know? Just, I'm wondering what the fuck do I do with this information? So anyway, he says, as you probably know, mods have never been truly under full control of the developer. What I am concerned, though, is not much the existence of such patches, but the idea that people profiting from them by selling them at high prices. I'd much rather see people enjoy a culture of creation together. Well, yeah, kind of, but look, the people who are making these mods, they spend a lot of time making them. They spend a lot of effort, and so if they want to have a Patreon or a Subscribe Star where they get donations or they need to charge for their time investment, I think that's acceptable. But notice how, like, even though he is pointing out, yeah, I don't like this, he's not trying to ban it or stop it. It's just, like, giving his opinion. It's like, yeah, I don't like when people make mods and then they sell them too expensive. But he's not going to stop them. And I really appreciate this type of mentality. I think it's really healthy. Like, there are certain things in the world that we can say, yeah, I don't like this. But that doesn't mean that you have to start a crusade against them. You don't have to act against every single aspect of society that you don't like. Because at the end of the day, you do certain things that society doesn't like. For instance, this game. And you wouldn't want people to then start attacking you just because they don't like the game. You know, people who don't like this game, they have the option of not playing it. Whatever happened with that option, you know? Don't like something, don't buy it. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you on my stream. Take care.